Welcome to Interviews with Entrepreneurs show, where we interview awesome entrepreneurs who are super awesome in their niches. And RJ back with another awesome interview. And today we have a special guest. And let me introduce a little bit about her. Uh, she is the best-selling author, and other than this, she is certified ClickFunnels over a partner. And other than this, she created an awesome concept of design hacking, and then changed thousands of entrepreneurs out there with the concept of design hacking. And also created a course called CF Design School. She's also an awesome funnel hacking live speaker, Miss Kathryn Jones. Hey,
Hello!
Kathryn.
Hi! How are you?
Hi. I'm great. What about you, Kathryn?
Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to be here. I was just telling you, I just love when I get to meet, because you're so awesome and you comment on a bunch of my stuff. So I know your name and I think you out, so it makes me so excited to meet you in real life. It's awesome.
That's super awesome. Totally appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for your time. It is super awesome to have you in our show.
Yes.
And uh, there are like so many things that come up in our mind. But the first question is like, why? Why design hacking? Like,
Oh,
how do you think about that? Like,
oh,
how it came up?
yes. This is such a good question. Well, so really interestingly, I wasn't even planning on being an entrepreneur. I kind of giggle sometimes that I got here because who knew, right? So
Yeah.
I was actually in college. I was studying film. I went on a 1.5-year long mission trip for my church to Los Angeles. I saw the film world, the good and the bad, and I just became totally disenchanted with it. So I came back and I was which was a bummer because I already had 3.5 years of school done. But I was I don't want to do film anymore. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I was a very stereotypical millennial, which I just was where you're just I just want to help people, how we're obnoxious like that. So that's me. The reason that exists is because it was me. And I had no idea what that looked like. But I just remember thinking, well, maybe if I had money, it would help. I could help people if I had money. So I didn't even know entrepreneurship really was a thing. I started reading personal finance books, which led me to investment books, which led me to self-help books, which eventually led to me taking online courses and all these different things. And I find the world of funnels. And anyway, so it's this beautiful thing. But as I'm trying to put these funnels out into the world, I don't know, if anybody's experienced this before, let me know. We would do that. We would have one client and we'd launch videos and funnels and copy out in there, and we would just crush it. It would convert like crazy. And you would just
Absolutely.
be oh yeah. And you're just I'm incredible. You're I am the internet. Anything's possible for us. And then RJ, our next client, we would just bomb it so bad, and to a point where you're I think I have to quit the internet. I'm never coming back. You're just oh my gosh. And we were just up and down and all the place. And I was what is the deal? Why can we not be consistent in what it is that we're doing here? And so we were struggling with that. And then at the same time, I was trying to figure out, so I'm actually the second oldest of 8 kids. There's 8 kids in my family. So God bless my mom. She was pregnant for all the 90s. But oh my gosh, I love my big family, and I always wanted to be a mother, and I love my mother, but I also knew I wanted my life to look a little bit different, right? And I was just there has to be a way to have significant impact inside of your home while simultaneously having it outside of your home. There has to be a way to do that. And I knew that I was if I can't figure out how this game of the internet works, how to take any product or concept and know that it's going to convert, rather than having I'm amazing and then just being everything's terrible, right? If I can't figure out how to level that out, then I'm never going to be able to be a super present wife and mother and take over the world. It's just not going to be an option for me. So I think probably more than most, I became really obsessive about this, where I was I have to figure this out. And what was crazy was that in my research, I came across these studies from Stanford and Google, and there's a bunch of others that said that people determine the credibility of a website, this is so nuts, in 0.05 seconds. You can't even start and stop your phone that fast. That's how fast. So in 0.05 seconds, they determine the credibility of your website. And actually, over 90% of what they're judging is your design. And also,
That's crazy.
That's nuts. That's actually literally insane. Like, how do we make decisions that fast? I don't even know. So all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, like you could have the most incredible offer in the world. You could have the best product. Like you actually could be the guru of all gurus. But if your design is not what people are expecting it to be, you lost the game because people won't even stay on your site long enough to see what you're selling. And so when I figured that out, it was like a double-edged sword. I was like, number one, yes, like we figured out what the lever is. Like we're literally physiologically hardwired to be drawn toward good design. So I was like, yes, I figured it out. But the second thing I was like, oh no, I don't know anything about design. I was like, dang it. I was like, I don't know how to fix this. And so I was like, well, I got to figure it out, right? Like I got to figure it out. So everybody kept telling me, you have to go learn how to code. You got to go learn Photoshop, like go back to school to be a graphic designer. And I just felt like there had to be a better way and a more efficient way. And it was during this time where all of a sudden, like, I don't know if you can see, you can see my books, like they're all color coded. I'm like a little bit self-diagnosed OCD. So I'm a girl that loves systems. I love order. Like I have checklists, like it's just good for me. So all of a sudden I just like randomly had this thought where I was like, what if design isn't an art? Like, what if design isn't this like nebulous, like where it's like, you feel it or you don't, like you just feel the art inside, which was what everybody was telling me. I was like, what if it's actually just a science? Like, what if it's a series of decisions to make and a series of tools to use and a series of steps to take? Like, what if that's all it is? And as I started to like dive deeper into this hypothesis, like almost annoyingly, it was proven true so fast. Where I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's been doing this wrong the whole time. And all of a sudden realizing that, oh my gosh, there's actually a framework for how to present stories or offers in a funnel that will convert. Then we just started to expand this. Like, could this be true for other mediums? And again, RJ, like what we're finding, like literally there is a science to how to craft a video that converts. There is a science for how to craft a Facebook Live and present a story in that converts. There's a science for how to do it with Instagram stories. There's a science for how to do it with podcasts, for how to do it with stage, for how to do it with copy. And also in this concept of design hacking, how to present stories, which is just an exchange of information. How do you present stories that convert? Convert meaning literally to change from one form to another. So how do you tell stories across every medium in a way that turns somebody from a subscriber to a buyer, from a buyer to a hyper buyer, from a hyper buyer to like an evangelist for your brand? And it has been literally like life-giving, so fun to watch like people start to adopt these frameworks of design hacking, because it's like all of a sudden you have these amazing people that had amazing products that weren't seeing the light of day, but now because they know how to present it online in a way that converts, these amazing products are now selling. So that is like the crazy way. Like I was never trying to be an entrepreneur. I was never trying to be a designer. I literally just wanted my stuff to work so I could figure out how to be a mom one day and take over the world. And from that, honestly, I think really divinely and as a blessing, this whole concept of design hacking came about.
That is definitely crazy. That is, it is definitely important because, as you said, these Stanford University say, look, the credibility of design is like 0.5 seconds. That is like way too quick.
Yeah, 0.05.
0.5 seconds. Like that is crazy. Like, click a button. Yeah, still it takes more time. And that's definitely crazy. And, you're definitely true. The part of that. Everything have some type of framework or steps overall. And, before you are about to come into our show, we put it up all of the webinar and, the webinar you did. And before where you talked about people like, that's crazy. Like, that is super awesome. That is crazy. So that was the most important thing. And I can see many people are tuning in right now. Hey, Deba, thank you so much. Hey, Zayed. Hey, Paul. Hey, I'm a big fan here, Paul. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. And, Paul is saying that I made over $20,000 of extra income since I.
Oh, no. Go back. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Who's frozen? Me or you, RJ?
Yo, I'm back.
We're back.
Yeah, we are fine. We're fine. Okay. Awesome.
It's hard to get with us, dude. It's working though. It's working.
Awesome. That's totally fine. So, I was talking about, I'm going to doing one of the best investment I'm about to make. The one of the best investment. Getting into CF design school, and that is going to be literally crazy.
Yeah.
And this year you were on Funnel Hacking Live speaker. Like, how was that particular experience for you? Like, how was that time? Because since we weren't on Funnel Hacking Live, but we saw the story, we saw everything that you were going through, and that particular time, getting on the stage, and then getting insane reaction overall. Like, how was that experience of Funnel Hacking Live?
Oh my gosh. First of all, it was a dream come true. That's for sure. Like, it's a really interesting thing to I literally started in the funnel world reading his book, to now speak on a stage was kind of this really surreal experience. But I think the thing that was so awesome about that entire thing, honestly, was because I spoke on stage, it gave me this awesome opportunity for me to connect with people. So literally, because people tell me, they'd be like, oh my gosh, Kathryn, I want to meet you. And so I literally, I got to meet so many rad human beings that it probably wouldn't have facilitated that conversation had they not been like, oh, I just saw you on stage. And so I met so many cool people at Funnel Hacking Live because that was the start of the conversation. So I think that was amazing. I think the second thing that was really incredible too was just this opportunity to be able to become peers with mentors. You know what I mean? To be able to be Russell's my friend, or Marley Jax is my friend now. And when before I was just like, oh, Russell or Marley, and to be able to just have really cool conversations with them and them learn from me and me learn from them. Speaking on stage has been the greatest blessing that's come from this, is a catalyst for me meeting people. And I just can't tell you whether it was Russell or somebody that was like, I just got started in my journey, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me everything. Welcome to this world. It's so beautiful. It was so fun. It was so fun. It was the best. It was so great. So
it was definitely worth it to be on that particular stage with Russell Brunson, and then being Funnel Hacking Live speaker. It's definitely an awesome experience. And Paul was saying hi to you, and Tu was also saying hi to you. He said, remind me.
Hello.
And as Russell launched his new book, Traffic Secrets.
So good.
And he also talked about the concept of Dream 100, and what I believe is that is one of the most important concept of traffic.
Yes.
And you have Dream 100, Russell Brunson.
Yes.
That is the craziest part. So when we talk about the Dream 100, what do you think, what are the mistakes that people make when doing Dream 100?
Totally. Oh my gosh, I love talking about this. Okay, so I think sometimes we hear the term Dream 100. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, right? Dream 100 is essentially marking out the top 100 people you'd eventually want to collaborate with, and essentially wooing them, right? How do you get them to come into your world in a way that they're like, oh wait, that chick's cool. I'd want to do something with her. And so that's what the Dream 100 is. Now, again, I think there's a really smart, intelligent way to approach this, and then there's a really not good way to approach this. One of the overarching principles, number one, is just be a normal human being. I think so often we're just I can't approach them, or I'm going to be really salesy, or whatever the case is. Honestly, approaching them okay, how would I want somebody to approach me is, I think, the first thing. Secondly, it's just thinking, I've had a lot of people try and Dream 100 me, which I'm grateful for that experience. But they'll just send me you're doing great, dude. They'll just send me random gifts. And I'm I don't even know what you want. I don't thank you. But I'm I don't know what you want from me. They'll just be you know what I mean? So it's I'm a little bit unsure what's happening here. So just being really clear and hey, I'm reaching out to you because I think you're rad. And that's all. Blah, blah. I'm reaching out to you because I'd really love to do X, Y, Z. And just being really clear and a normal human. But one of the things that's been really, really, really important for us too is just it is crazy to me how much trickier people make Dream 100 than it actually is. Literally. And oh my gosh, they make it so much harder when in reality, it's I already knew your name because you were just commenting on my stuff. That's it. But I saw you today and I was so excited to meet you because I was oh my gosh, I see this guy interacting. I kind of have a concept of what he does. And so for you to come on my show, I was oh, of course I want to be on him. I felt I knew you, right? And so even just commenting on people's things, people make it out so much harder to be. But literally one of the things, we make this pretty formulaic. We do this every single month. And I have a Dream 100 list that's hundreds and hundreds, almost 1,000 people long, right? But literally every single month, we'll tackle like 30 to 60. And I'll literally give you my tactic for what this looks like, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, because for us to collaborate with somebody, like what you also need to know, like our dream way to collaborate with somebody at this point is for them to do a joint venture for CF Design School with us, where they're like, hey, we have an audience that would really like this, and then we just split profits 50-50. And we've been able to do several six-figure launches, which is awesome, right? Like we come away with a lot of money, we serve a lot of people, a little amount of effort for a lot of bang for your buck, right? But sometimes people are like, I don't even know who this chick is, right? Or like, I don't even know what, or like, I'm not sharing my audience with her. So like, let me tell you, literally, we just filmed 30 of these videos. If you guys get one of them, know that it's sincere, okay? But like it just opens the conversation. So I sit there, I have my videographer right there. We have our whole sheet of people that come up, and we essentially say something like this. Oh, I wonder, no, I think I deleted the script. But it's something like this, where it's like, let's say it's RJ, right? So
yeah,
you go by RJ, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'd be like, hey RJ, this is Kathryn Jones here. I'm Funnel Hacking Live 2020 speaker, founder of Design Hacking Studios. At Design Hacking Studios, what we do is we teach people how to present stories that convert across all mediums, funnels, podcasts, copy, stage, etc. And I think between what you do with your audience and what I do with my audience, I think there's actually a really cool opportunity for us to collab. So I don't know if that's you being on my morning show, or if that's us featuring you in my vlog, or maybe there's even opportunity for us to do a joint venture. We've been able to do well over 6 figures with that. So I'm not exactly sure what the play is, but would you do me a favor? Like whatever it looks like to serve your humans best, like I'm all in. Let's put it on the calendar. So will you think about it? Let me know. And I say, let's talk soon. Okay. Boom. Yeah. 25-second video, send that out. And it just starts the conversation. You can see, I'm really personable. I tell them what I do, right? You like say who you are. So you're not like a crazy person. Like, hey, I spoke at Funnel Hacking Live. This is what I do. I am recognizing like what your audience is. And sometimes if like I really know their audience, like, oh my gosh, I love your audience, game changers, like they're amazing, like blah, blah, blah. Or I know this person. But like, hey, I think we have a cool opportunity to collab. And then the collaboration is me first giving value. Where it's like, I'd love to have you on my show and share it to my audience. I'd love to feature you in my vlog. Like also we know JVs, like we could make you over $100,000. But like, I don't know, like what's the best way to serve your humans? Sign me up. I'm all in. And again, that has resulted not only in joint ventures, but me being on a ton of shows. It's resulted in me speaking, like almost all of my speaking gigs come from this initial conversation where they're like, well, actually our event's coming up and you'd be an amazing speaker, right? They're like, oh, we'd love to have that. So that it can look anything like that. With Russell Brunson, because he's a little bit harder to reach, like there's some people that we have to get a little bit more creative with to like get their attention, right? And oftentimes too, it takes us 5, 6, 7 times before somebody will like finally pay attention to us. But again, just that 30-second video, that 30-second outreach can have a monumental effect because you get the conversation started for that. So yeah, again, we just schedule it in. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say we just schedule it in. So I just know every single month I'm doing at least 30 to 60 of those, which allows me to have conversations on the calendar, which allows, again, it's just this mutually beneficial thing, but you have to mean it. You know what I mean? If they're like, yeah, I'd love to be on your show. You can't be like, oh, well, I want you to do a JV with me. So actually I don't want you on my show. Like you have to be like, yeah, sure. Come on my show. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, it really does not have to be that hard, but you do have to actually do it. And I think understanding how you can serve them and having platforms to actually help them can be really beneficial in that realm.
Yeah, that totally makes sense because, when it comes to Dream 100, there are like many things that people, take it on the next level by taking it wrong overall because they start to do wrong things and then wrong things supposed to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, that is definitely many factors comes up. And, when I read the concept of Dream 100, I was like, whoa, that's crazy because, I heard about Dream 100 first in One Funnel Away challenge, when Steve and Russell talked about, and that was literally crazy thing. And I've done One Funnel Away challenge multiple times. The second time I did, I was like, whoa, now I get that. Now I got the point. What I did, I created a show, get all of my Dream 100 list. Let me tell you one thing. You are in my top 5 in Dream 100 list, okay?
Yes, it's an honor. It's honestly an honor. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's awesome.
And people need to overall realize when you're trying to do Dream 100, there's some point that you need to serve. Like serve in many ways. You're getting into their part of a community. You're becoming their tribe, and you become a second leader after them.
Yeah.
falling with their tribe. That is like literally most important things.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the 6-step science of design hacking, and when, for example, if we create funnels, at the end of the day, first of all, if we had a funnel, okay, and we have a convertible funnel, we know how to design hack. Now
Mhm.
people are come up, how to get clients, like how to get clients, like why not getting clients? That
Yeah.
sucks for a funnel builder out there. So like, what do you think about that? Like,
Oh,
why people afraid of getting clients?
how are people getting clients? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm talking about like why people get afraid of getting clients, why they are not getting clients overall.
Totally. Okay, and this is such a beautiful question. One thing I would like to say before we move on, like just about Dream 100, I think the third thing that I've seen people make mistakes on is they don't actually ask. So like you,
Yeah.
for example, like me, I'm in your top 5, right? Like you've served me so much. You've commented a ton of stuff. You're now having me on my show, right? Like at one point, like it would make sense for you to ask me to collaborate with you. You're like, Kathryn, I want you to do this with me. And if it doesn't make sense, I'll say no. But if it makes sense, it's like, yeah, I know who he is. He seems chill, right? But I think that's another thing where it's like we just give, which is great. But you like people eventually forget to ask. They think that like I'm gonna come to you and be like, hey, I think we should do this. When in reality, like sometimes we just don't have even the headspace to do that. So I think that's the third thing. Anyway, but when it comes to like, why are people afraid to get clients? I think especially when you're beginning, so often we think, well, I haven't done this before, or I haven't gotten good results, or I am only like a few months in or a few years in. Like I don't know. I should have more experience before I ask somebody for this money. One of the things that I do, because again, we teach people very beginners all the way up to elites, right? And one of the things that we teach them all is while you're building your experience, have your certainty be on the framework that you're using. So we teach people how to build funnels with the 6-step science of design hacking. It works. It actually literally works. It has generated multiple 7-figure funnels following this framework. It literally works. So what we tell them is if while they're building their own experience, they can just rest assured that as they're pitching client, they can say, yes, we can help you get the results because of the method that we use. The method we use is proven. And then as you build up your experience, you can say the method we use is proven and we've done this time and time again. But as you're building up this experience, you'd be like, we know this will work because of the method that we're using. So you can rely really heavily on that. And the only reason why I think people are hesitant to get clients is because they're afraid they're not going to be able to do that. And so having a framework that really works as your foundation allows you to be able to pitch people and feel really confident that you can help them on the back end.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense because oftentimes what happen is if anyone have some type of skill, they often procrastinate. That if that works for their clients or not.
Mm-hmm.
And Russell keeps talking about that. If you're not sure what happens for the result of your clients, work them for free, get them the results, and have confidence of that, and then charge people for that stuff. And I just saw the comment by Sahil. He was like, hey, I'm at work right now. My manager is watching me like, how still can't miss this episode. Like, look like last day of me at my work. Bro,
that's the best comment. Listen, I've been on a press tour all day. I think this is my 8th or 9th interview. That's the best comment I've seen the whole day. So Sahil, you win. You actually win. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love you being here.
You win, bro. After watching your comment, I feel like a coffee dance in my mind. That is literally crazy thing happening out.
That's amazing.
And guys, if you're tuning in live, you can simply use #live. And if you're tuning in a replay, you can definitely use #replay. And if you have any question from Kathryn, you can simply ask it up. We have some limited time, but you need to catch everything up. Just do it. Okay. Yeah. That's definitely awesome. And Kathryn, to be very honest, there was certain time how I got to know about you overall. And it was like all about, I was like scrolling through the internet because I started it was like October 2018, when I launched my e-commerce store and everything. People feel like e-commerce is easy, but that doesn't. Like, it's not easy. It's hard to understand. Yeah, it's hard, definitely hard. So many things to manage out. And there was a time, I was like hearing about the marketers talking about the funnel. Like, what is a funnel? I was like, what is a funnel? Like, how it work out? Like, I didn't have the idea about anything. Then all of a sudden, I saw the post by a guy on Instagram. It was like, this man have made like $3 million in like 90 minutes. His name is Russell Brunson. I was like, whoa, that's something, I can relate with funnel, something like that. Then I, start on the funnels and everything, signed up with Paul. I didn't knew about anything. And Paul was the very first guy like I got on a call with, someone who have native English. English is not my first language. It was like literally crazy. It was definitely, that was the throughout the time. And then I was like scrolling something, and then all of a sudden, I watched the video that you had, which were like, driving traffic to the webinar,
Yeah.
in which you were talking about the ugly funnels. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa. And I remember at that time, it was like so engaging. And I remember messaged you at that time, like, hey, Kathryn, like, how you created that video so engaging, how that worked out. And you were
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, I'm about to create a training way soon.
Yeah.
And that webinar that you did was the craziest webinar that I saw. Like, it was so engaging. That was like, whoa, I spent whole of my time, and I was like, already sold, but didn't have the money that time. But like, I'm coming up for CF Design School, like this time. That's it. That is okay. So there's a question, like, what are the things to keep in mind or to watch out for while design hacking?
Totally. So such a good question too. About when you are looking to design hacking again is we're trying to look how to present stories or offers that convert. So for us to be able to kind of skip some steps, what we want to do is we want to find the patterns of what's already working amongst 3 different niches. So write this down, okay? Number 1, you want to find funnels that are already killing it in your same niche. You want to find, number 2, funnels that are already killing it amongst your same customer base. And then number 3, you want to find funnels that are killing it and getting them to take the action. So like, for example, like the niche might be internet marketing, the customer base might be entrepreneurs, and the action we want them to take is sign up for a webinar, right? So we're going to find who's killing it in internet marketing, who's killing it amongst entrepreneurs, who's killing it with getting them to sign up for a webinar. And what we want to do is we'll have about like 30 pages filled up. Again, literally just Google search. So top internet marketing gurus, bring up the top 10. If you're looking for online entrepreneurs, literally search as if they were them, right? So like how to start my online business, top 10. And then best webinar registration pages, pull up top 10. Amongst those 30 pages, you want to start to scrape through to see the patterns that you can see in their design when it comes to structure or the fonts or the images or the colors or the spacing. We're just trying to find the patterns so then we can incorporate them into our own. And then it looks like somebody was like, what advice would you give to new funnel creators? There's a right way to build funnels and there's a wrong way to build funnels. The right way to build funnels is honestly design hacking. Like so many people launch funnels out into the world and they're just like, I hope this works. And you just like throw it out there. What's beautiful about design hacking is it allows you to create a funnel that is already optimized for conversions. And so going into that with that assurity allows you to expedite the process of you having success so much. So literally, like, I recommend like the training that RJ talked about. Literally go watch that and you'll start to realize like, oh, okay, like I see how this works here. So there's a really hard way to make it as a funnel builder and there's a really easy way to make it as a funnel builder. Knowing design hacking is the easy way. Like Paul said, like he's brought over $20,000 in funnel sales. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's so cool. So that's what I think I would say.
That's definitely crazy. And yeah, guys, I've posted that in the group as well. You can simply watch it out again. And also, if anyone have or want to think about, if they should need to or they want to get into, simply get into CF Design School. It is the one of the best things that you can simply have. I knew about it. I knew that I need to get into it, and I will get into it. Within like few days. That is the most important thing. And yeah, definitely, I just put it up, the link in the comment section down below as well. Let me put it up over here as well. And yeah, Kathryn, we know that we have like limited time. And guys, if you will have any questions, you can simply comment in the section down below. I can simply ask Kathryn later on as well. Totally. And again, Kathryn, any last thing that you want to say before we round this session up?
Honestly, if you guys want to learn more about design hacking, how do you present stories that convert, whether funnels or video? We're getting super deep into video in the next little bit. Podcast stage. Literally come join our free Facebook group. It's called Design Hackers Official. And we drop new content in there literally every single day. So Design Hackers Official, come hang out with us and we'll make sure we take care of you there.
That is super awesome. Let me put it up, the link in the description down below so that people can, find it out way easier. And yeah, again, Kathryn, thank you so much for hopping on our show. It was so honored to have you in our show overall. And yeah, it was awesome.
Oh my God.
And yeah, definitely. And guys, thank you so much for your time. And we will definitely see you guys in the next show. Until then, peace out.
Bye, RJ.
Bye.